Good morning, retail traders. This is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy where we talk about moving averages, chart patterns, and being in the now. Right now, I want to go over the indices and what I expect for next week. Man, it don't look too good for me, in my view, my opinion, and I've been saying it ever since the invasion of Israel. But there is a big difference between who you got to listen to and how you take. For example, fat cats are saying buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. A few of them are saying wait, be patient, don't buy nothing. But most of them are saying they're trying to save, bliss, buy the dip, buy the dip. But I would wait. We're close to a couple real good spots on the indices, and I want to just kind of point them out where I think they are solid supports, and you could have a target to aim for. So we're going to start off with a SPY. Now I've charted this up already. Pretty simple. Just one trend line is all I need. And I've used chart patterns and moving averages. So here we called the pullback last year in September off the 200 SMA. We had that huge sell-off, and then she hit the 200 SMA on the weekly and then went ahead and bounced on up and had the great run in 2022. Or 2023. Now we've pulled back to a correction. Well, what we did is we hit a head and shoulders, and I called that resistance way in advance. Whoop, wrong. Let's get this one here. So here's your head, and here's your left shoulder and your right shoulder. And as we started to come up, when we hit the 52-week high right here, I suggested that we'd go ahead and probably run up and hit this shoulder line and find some resistance. And we came back and we hit the other support level, run back up. So now we definitely are in a bear territory. Fat cats have been marking the SPX at 4,200. Now we're below that. So I'm looking at the SPY down here at 402.41. The reason why, it's a shoulder line of this inverse head and shoulders. And I call a lot of bounces off that shoulder line. So first target's going to be 402.41. The second target, or the third target, or the last target, if we do not hold that, the second target will be the $400 area. Just as a as the number that everybody, respects, 400. 450, 300, so on, so forth. So, and then the final support level will be the 200 SMA. As we bounced off and called this three soldiers, we had three black crows right here, and then I called that trade off, and we ran all the way up to that shoulder line. So definitely, I feel strong support. I mean, really strong to at least have a dead cat bounce at the 393 area if we hit the 200. But for right now, we're going to retest 402, 41, and then the 400, and then the 393 area. The SPX. These are pretty simple, clean charts. We have the same kind of scenario. We have the 200 SMA right here. We did hit an ascending triangle support level where we are right now, where we closed on Friday. So we need to drop on down and hit this area right in here. And I think that'll be a double confirmation. For one, we have the inverse head and shoulders, and then we have the 200 SMA. So both of them is a solid support. I mean, I can't see it going any lower. I mean, I can see it going lower. If we get nuked, or we get, this is going to get more involved. This could go on for years. So 39, I'm talking about the war. Or somebody can get nuked real fast and get it done, said and done and over with. 3940.28 to the penny, at least for right now. Somewhere in that area. Let's just call it even at 3940. That's where I'd set my alert. In fact, I'll set one Let me see where that proper place is. Yeah, it's kind of hard right there. I'm thinking somewhere in here. 39.21, but I got to respect this trend line. So we're going to put the alert right there at 39.62. 39.62. 43 is going to be our support level for the SPX to hold. Now to be off the 200 with a confirmation of a shoulder line of the inverse head and shoulders. This is for next week. We got IWM. This thing's really broke the gap. This is a 3-year time frame. So I'm thinking somewhere down here at 157.62, maybe a little lower. Maybe even down here at 153.84. Get a double bottom on the 3-year chart and see what happens. Now we're going to pull this up to a bigger time frame using the weekly. Yeah, see, I mean, we could drop all the way back down here. This would be a solid buy. Somewhere right around 145 if it decided to go ahead and pull on back. But I'm seeing a solid support right now at 157.62 for this coming week. If that doesn't hold at 157, I think we can drop in this Darvis box and hit this shoulder line of a two-headed snake on the weekly time frame on a 5-year chart. So I wouldn't doubt it if we do see at 145. I mean, if we see at 145, I'd almost go all in. But it all depends on geopolitical tensions. So I'm not bullish, but I am bullish because I'm a knife catcher. Same thing with the QQQ. Now we have support here off the 51. This thing can drop all the way down to right here, and I think that would be your solid support for right now, right around 330. And that's a $15 dip, and that'll take you to the 50 SMA. And then if it gets real shitty, you can take it down here to the 200 and bounce off that shoulder line of the 200 at 311. But for right now, let's use these moving averages for support lines, and you got 3 of them right there. You got the 51 EMA at 340. And you've got the 65 EMA at 336, and then you've got the 50, which I respect more, right around the 330 area. That's the QQQ. Now the VIX, we hit the 200 on Friday. It can get a lot worse. If we break the 200, we can run up here and get to the 27 area. Maybe next week. Oh, I don't know. That area right in there, right around 25.60 if it gets bad. And then keep that area right up in here, right around 18.52 as a support level on the VIX for next week. See if that holds. If not. But we got to break that 200. And Tesla pulled back and hit the 200 on Friday, the 200 and the 50. So if the 50 crosses down over the 200 SMA, that is called a death wish, a death cross, and that means that the stock will pull back more. Now I personally want to see it hold the 200 technically, but if not, we can get a better buy. Tesla's not hurting as bad as General Motors or Ford. Ford General Motors are screwed up right now. Just remember, you don't work for them, but you're going to end up paying for their salaries. Guarantee they're going to get bailed out again. I guarantee it. What the government has done to the car sector, it's devastating. Totally devastating. And we've not seen the recourse of what they've done. We've wasted billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of our tax money already bailing out General Motors 3 different times. And we're going to have to do it again. So just kind of remember that. I think General Motors, I'm hot on Tesla. I'm fired up on Tesla right now because we're at a support level. And it can drop a little bit more. But GM, I'm a lot more bearish on. I mean, I'm so upset with this government motors. I think we'll hit 24.30 and maybe bounce off that 24.30. But what the unions have done to General Motors the next coming 10, 15 years is going to be devastating. And then we see anything else. People are fat cats are targeting tech right now because of the major sell-offs in tech, but I'm still not satisfied. I think the AI scenario got out of hand with a lot of these tech companies, and they need to come back to reality, like Nvidia. If we can't hold to 400, I see 375 and a real strong buy at 337.21. Real strong buy, real strong to go long if we do get them knives to that 51. That's the 51 EMA. So there's your 3 support levels. You can write them down, do whatever you want. But right now we're at a solid support, and the fat cats are going to try to keep this here at the 404. Last time we were down here, I called it out. Called it off this candle right here, and we had a nice little bounce. About a 3-week bounce, and now we've come back down here again. So it's very, very, very important that we hold this area come this week, or we're going to drop down to 375. And I'm pretty confident about that. If we do not hold the 404.08 and run it back up halfway at least to 440, I think we'll see 375 on the video. Like I said, I think they hyped it up way too much. What else do I want to talk about? I'm going to call it quits. Tesla and Microsoft. Microsoft's kind of on the back burner with me. I'd like to see it pull back to 1, 2, 3. Now I've got a strategy of trading that I talk about with a sneaky snake trading strategy. It's called the 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. If you can count to 3, you can trade with me. So this is a descending pattern on Microsoft. We had a 1, 2, and 3 right here, and we found resistance. So it's going to come back down and create another 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to set my alert. It's already been set at 315.18. So I'm waiting for this thing to pull back down here and take this trade off 315.18 unless we have real bad, someone gets nuked or things get out of hand. We can knife on this thing because this is a descending pattern. Now, if things were better, the fat cats are bullish. They don't want this market to tank, but I don't think they have control of it. Very few people have control of this market right now. They're calling shots. So I'm a bull, but I'm bearish. I got to be very defensive in this market right now. I think we can pull back 315 and maybe bounce up and have a dead cat bounce. Microsoft. Apple's going through a lot of trouble right now. I think Apple can drop more. Get back down here to this bottom portion here and break away from these 50 moving average and come down here and hit this triple top breakout. 1, 2, 3, boom. So as again, chart patterns, and that's a triple top breakout. I think we could hold support at 157, 156. And Boeing, Boeing. Boeing's took a pretty fabulous little pullback here, and we also have the same scenario. We've got a pivot point area on this chart, a W. This is a neckline. So we'll see if we hold that and run it back up to the 200, just under 200 bucks. If that doesn't hold, I think we could drop down pretty solid to, oh man, I hate to say that. Shoot. We'll take this right here. 142 is just too much. This area right in here, right around 157. So yeah, I mean, we're at a very serious support level right now. It can drop a few bucks and then maybe 173, a little bit below it. That's Boeing. So as you can tell, these charts have been pretty oversold. Keep these on watch. I put these all in the same block. I got Meta, Apple, AMD, and NVIDIA are my top 4 dogs when it comes to trading that sector. Starbucks has took a hit, pulled back. There's a lot of good stocks that have took a hit. Then we've got Disney. We've got the woke business going on. Let's see if I can get the right chart up here. God, come on. There we go. Disney has a lot of issues. Disney can knife more. But what we have here is a snake in a wedge. And if we can hold support right around 75 bucks, I'd take 75. In fact, I'm going to set an alert there for next week. But that'll be the bottom of this wedge, and you'll have your 1, 2, 3. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm a master of this 1, 2, 3 deal. 1 body, 2 body, and then the third one come down here and hit it, and then run back up and find the 1, 2, 3 on the top. You got the 1 body here, 1 body here, and then it needs to come back up to right around 91. So I'm pretty secure about this here alert. 75 bucks. We're going to see if that hits that this coming week and bounce off to 75. But you see what happens when woke takes over. Target is a piece of crap store. I'm looking for 80 bucks. Come back and hit this top channel right here. I don't go shopping in here. It reminds me of a 5 and dime store. If you want to buy something that's cheap and worthless, go to Target. That's my opinion about Target anyway. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit to this bottom right here. And that's at 70. What is that at? 94. Yeah, we'll go with that. 94, 97, $95 at first. We'll see if we hit this double bottom in here. And that's right around the 92 area. The bottom of this candle's. Let's Target. Just be very cautious and patient and wait for your targets. Second guess your entries for right now until we get this could get worse. This could get a lot worse. Someone could get nuked and this market will just tank. So that's it. I'm not. I mean, I'm bullish, but I'm still got to be very professional here, and I just got to be very patient. And I've been saying it ever since we hit resistance, and it's getting to be a broken record. About 4 months now, I've been saying, be careful, be careful, be careful. Where we hit resistance, and all we've done is sold back. I'm gonna think of one just on the top of my head right now. I like doing this, just something out of the blue. And there's so many China. If China gets involved in the Middle East, we can have some real nice tanking on the China stocks. So keep that in mind. Don't be bullish yet. They for the last 2 months they've been fat cats have been saying buy China, and then they get slapped in the face. So just wait until this is all settled in the Middle East. I mean, I like this XP a lot. This is one of my favorite EV car companies. We called this down here last week and bounced up. I think we can pull back down there and hit it again. So I'm going to raise this 1280 alert to the bottom of that channel right around 1411, somewhere in there, to remind me to take this trade next week maybe. That's XP. So yeah, be careful with China. If you listen to CNBC, just be careful what they say. Do the opposite of what they say. The only decent person on that show is Joe. And Becky Quick. She was asking the tough questions last Friday. So that's it. Retail traders, let's have a good week. Please be very careful and bearish, and watch stocks that have cash, watch stocks that have great volume, and watch stocks that are being mentioned all the time. For example, let me find this thing here. I've got a scan here that TOS pulls up. It's called the Market Maker. And you can drive a good watch list on this one right here alone. Hit the volume high. Amazon is a hot one right now. You got Tesla. Intel is getting pumped. Bank of America is almost at support. I called out Bank of America here. So this watch list alone could get you started very well. It's called the Market Maker. Let me see if I can find it in here. You go into the public in F and N, go to the right, go straight down here to Market Maker stock move stocks. Hit that, and then you'll get this watch list. And I'd be watching this list alone. I mean, this in here has got the volume leaders, ones that are mentioned. I mean, this list alone can get you by. I'd look every stock on this list: Amazon, Tesla, Intel, Bank of America, Apple, AMD, Google. I'm really liking Google here soon. NVIDIA, Comcast, Pfizer, Microsoft, Meta, CVX, XOM. JP Morgan's my favorite bank right now. I'm getting ready to take it, go long. So there's some good stocks on here. It's a good watch list to go through every day. And then you start to memorize, and well, hey, Amazon's always on top. And called out Amazon last week off earnings. I didn't take the stupid trade. I feel so stupid, man. I called this thing out. I really do. I mean, I went 18.50. And we dipped off that and hit that, and she ran up and broke. So Amazon's on fire right now. get a little pullback on it, maybe hold 123, 124 and run it back up. Christmas season, look for seasonal trades. I'm not a fundamental trader. The fundamental traders are going batty right now because that's what they trade off. They trade off fundamentals. They're long-term traders. I'm not a long-term trader. I'm a day trader and a 3-day swing trader. I buy squeezes. You know, that's why I created this strategy. It's called a snake. For example, Amazon comes down, hits the 50, creates a snake, breakout, pull back, boom. Snake, breakout, pull back, double bottom, triple bottom, boom. Snake, breakout, pull back, higher low, boom. Snake, breakout, pull back, double bottom, higher low, boom. So this is when I buy the trade. I buy the trade off the moving averages, off support level for Amazon. 50 day, 50 day, 50 day, 50 day, 50 day, 50 day. So yeah, that's it. That's basically my strategy. Snake, breakout, pull back, triple bottom, boom. Snake, breakout, pull back, higher low, boom. Or maybe even drop down and hit the 200. I've been trading for 20 years. I can trade almost anything. I can trade it any way. And right now I've been trading this here strategy for the last 2 years, and I've made more money in the past 2 years than I have in the 18 years that I've been trading. And the success rating is about 95, 97%. Here's a prime example, Amazon. She got a 1, 2, 3 breakout. She comes back at open, runs up the trend line. And I know to take that trade right at open. I know it sounds freaky, but it's fact. You got snake, breakout, pull back, higher low, double bottom, higher low, triple bottom, boom. And then right at open, she pulls back and bounces off that trend line. And you run it up to resistance. How'd I get 129 as a resistance level? That's a head and shoulders. That's your left shoulder. We go back a little farther. There's your resistance level. Go back a little farther. There's your head and shoulders. You got to pull back right here. Support, 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 resistance, resistance, and resistance. And as it's coming down, you can see the trend line coming down. Resistance. So snake, breakout, pull back, create an inverse head and shoulders, create a right shoulder right here off the 50 and run it back up to the top. That's what you're looking at. So yeah, this is longer than usual. I've been off for a couple weeks. I knew the market was going to go down, so it's been easy. It's easy to predict because we have a world war going on. It's easy to predict because of the way the people on Wall Street and fat cats talk, to where I think, I mean, we're totally I'm a private sector guy, and they're multi-millionaires that live in real fancy mansions that are out of touch with the common people. I always thought the private sector can run the economy a lot better than the federal government, but these fat cats are in bed with the government, so that's why we hear about, what politicians are doing all the time, because they're in search for that money, that free money. They don't have to spend their money because the government is giving it to them. If the government didn't turn around and spend all this money, the private sector would use their own. Business people are business people. They're going to keep creating, jobs and business where. So yeah, we're definitely in a mess. And it's going to take a long time to get it fixed, even if we can. So say goodbye to America and say hello to socialism. And the rich will get richer, and if you keep studying Wall Street, you'll become, fairly wealthy. And the middle class will start to shrink. Unless they're in trading stocks. But this is not a swingers market. It was last year. It was last year. So don't sit here and try to hope, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It ain't going to get better until, I don't know. It's just very strange right now. So look for that 200. Maybe at 400, 401's my old employee number. We could bounce off 401. I'm telling you, I've had more success with that number, my old employee number, and we're getting right down to that area. Mark my words, I'm going to 401. I used to travel around and inventory Walmart, and I think there's like 1,500 of us employees, and I was employee 401, and we inventoried Walmarts. We'd drive around in a big bus and calculators and count the store up and be in and out of it within a day. And we did that from hotel to hotel, from city to city. And did it for about 3 years. Made real good money. And that was back during the Reagan years when we had that recession. So jobs were hard to find. And I remember training for the job. It took about 2 weeks. And we were all getting ready to load up on the bus. It was a snowy day. And I was told to be there at 2. And I guess I got it wrong, and they said they were going to leave at 2. So I come running up there, and then the bus takes off and leaves me stranded. I'm about 2 blocks away from it, and I'm homeless, and I called my mom. I said, hey man, I ain't got nowhere to live. I got this job, and I was going to go on the road, and I have no place to go. So mom picked me up, and I called the company up, and I said, hey, I was running up to the bus, and I guess I was an hour late. And I trained for this job. I really want it. And so when the bus came back, they hired me back on, and it was just a weird story. And I was watching Walmart back then. I was worked at Walmart for about a year. Walmart's had a good run here. It needs to come down some too. Maybe back down here to the 51. Right around 152 would be a good spot. That way you'd have a 2-headed snake caught. One head here and one head right there. And be right off that 51. I'm going to go ahead and put an alert right there. Okay, well, I'm going to get on out of here. This is a Sneaky Snake trading strategy where we study chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now, and just be very patient and careful. And Friday I played puts and I played calls. I got stuck in one trade and I made it back up within minutes. Got caught in a knife and I let the knife settle and then bought it and came out real good on that trade after all. Have a great day, retail traders.